Are you in your apartment or?
Yeah, I'm just at home at the moment. So, it's just I don't know. I mean, like everyone else, we don't have any answers, do we? So we're just especially on the live side, we're trying to push stuff back. But I was talking to someone earlier and I was just saying, like, you can push stuff back, but what are the effects going to be of pushing stuff back? It feels like a lot of stuff's going to be on top of each other after summer. So, what's going on your side? Are you moving stuff?
Oh, totally. But I mean, we had. I mean, our campaign was very heavily skewed towards the autumn anyway.
Got it.
So only really Coachella moving to October, which by the way is much better for us in terms of Youngblood because we'll have an album out then.
Got it. Okay.
And that means we had to fight really hard to get a shrine and Seattle and Portland, which are big markets for us, reschedule those to late October, and that was a bit of a dogfight to get a shrine in October. You can imagine all artists at a certain cap wanted that. So, but thankfully we have an awesome agent in the US, which is Maya.
Yeah. How is that? You know what I'm really curious, and I think would be actually really interesting for people is just like if you can walk me through the amazing Youngblood live that he did the other day. I think that was super interesting, and like I'm just curious, kind of what you guys saw on the back end of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's I have to give Dominic most of the credit.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the credit, maybe bar 5%, goes to my team in LA because they absolutely killed it. There was Dom had an idea. He's got this need, this fundamental need to connect with his fans. He's always had it since he had 5 fans till now. He's obviously got loads, but it was that need to, like, I don't belong anywhere. I'm confused. I'm angry. I feel misunderstood. Is there anyone else out there? And that communicated through his music. As it turned out, there were a load of people like that, young people and like that. And he needs to talk to them. He will, on any given Sunday, just take to Instagram and go like, drop me 3 black hearts and I'll FaceTime 20 of you. And he'll do them in a cab on the way. It's just because he needs to, and they need to as well. And I think, so this idea was basically, I got to connect with them. This is, shit's hitting the fan. I got to speak to them. I got to connect with my fans. It started with a Q&A. And then it became like, oh, we should do a show. And he hits up, and then he'll hit up MGK, and he's always up for it. He's all anything them two together.
Yeah.
And then it became, a more like, okay, well, we work with YouTube on this year on a program called Always On, which is headed up by a woman called Celine Joshua from Universal. She's great, and we were all sort of chatting, and it was a bit like, well, this could be a bigger thing, and Dom was like, I want to do like a punk rock Jimmy Kimmel, and rather than being like, and that's probably the way, I guess the way I always feel that the best idea, you need to empower their vision. I mean, sometimes you need to obviously challenge them, but actually more often than not, they're right, and you just gotta figure out a way to empower their vision. And this is one of those cases where it's like, I want to do like a punk rock Jimmy Kimmel. I want us to be like, feel like a gig, and I want people to be jumping in their bedrooms, around the bedrooms, all over the world. Let's fucking go. And we were like, okay, let's figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
We rented a space called the Beehive in LA, which is a guy called Vinny Ferrer, who holds his production manager. Through him, we got to know there was a big touring company that had a TV crew that had been paid for a week's worth of production that had been pulled. And before we knew it, it was a full production, 5 cameras, TV truck, the whole thing.
Yeah, it looked amazing. It looked amazing. I mean, what do you think? I mean, because I feel like obviously that kind of stuff comes natural to him in terms of, like you said, engaging with his audience and stuff. But does that mean now with the current climate, do you think he's going to do more of that? Is that something you
Well,
guys are just going to keep doing? Really?
we actually talking. The last couple of days we've been trying to figure out how to do the next one, and but it'll be, you know, we had as of last night we had a more scaled back version, obviously with segments of artists FaceTiming in, chatting, doing a duet over FaceTime, because obviously people can't be in the same room anymore. All of the new restrictions in California means that we can't do it. When we started planning out the episode 2, it was like, oh, we need to scale it down to 10 people in the room. Now you can't even go out of your house. So,
Right.
and there were a bunch of artists. We had great line out of people. Off the back of the first episode, a lot of people came out going like, can we be part of it? And then now we just sort of had to regroup and figure out how we're going to do it. But we're definitely doing it.
Yeah.
So it's very important to keep going. And, music fans around the world, young people around the world need some entertainment, and they need to connect, and they need to laugh. And, look at the news. It's terrible. I mean, it's just like one
Constant stream of negativity out there at the moment. But I mean, that's good. I mean, do you think, I would assume as well that like he probably non-Youngblood fans probably tuned in as well, right? Because I feel like people are just at home. What do you think?
The what? So
Do you think fans people that were not fans of Youngblood actually tuned in as well?
There was a big spillover. I mean, the stats were crazy. And obviously the press, and then we did, Channel 4 wanted him on the national news, and he did a brilliant piece.
Oh, it's amazing.
Have you not seen that? I'll text it to you.
No, I didn't see that. But that's amazing. I mean, I just think it's a great idea. I think there needs to be more of it. What I find, like, I'm wondering as well is like I said, for him, that comes so natural to him, and some artists are very good at doing that. But I wonder if other artists that maybe don't do as much of that, if they need to be doing things like that or not. Do you see what I mean? Because it's not actually authentic to them in a way, but at the same time, the audience is online right now more than ever.
I think things will probably shift now in terms of. I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about all this technology, like what we're doing right now, that has been available for but has it been utilized? Probably not. And I'm thinking about like all my 14 trips to LA a year I did in the last year. Like in the future, maybe there's a more efficient, maybe it's the better way, more socially conscious, more
responsible.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, I'm actually quite enjoying that you look up into the sky and there's not that many airplanes, and there's that thing. And also you can definitely connect, like one thing Dom said when he was asked by Channel 4, just texted you emailed you the interview. Hang on, just bear with me 1 sec. Was that yes, he couldn't hear them. He would go like, let's go crazy. Well, it's the usual thing that he does, like, but he could see that he had the comments. I mean, the comments were going mental. They were just like, he could feel the energy, and it was super authentic. I mean, he performed like if he'd been performing Ali Pali or like any festival. That he's just so committed and thriving, and he wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't authentic, and if he wasn't getting the feedback from the audience, and he totally was. And then the other question, is like, that's the kind of artist he is. I think it's so important for any artist to figure out where they are their most authentic. Without authenticity, it's the key. Great songs.
Yeah.
Goes without saying, but authenticity is that's what it's about. That fosters engagement, and engagement fosters commerce. That's what it is. It's in that's the new world order. We're not in a business of shifting units or selling stuff anymore. It's all about being authentic, connect with people emotionally. They want to be part of it in some shape or form, and then after that, there is some sort of relationship that is worth a transaction because there's no so all of the traditional ways of marketing has kind of gone out of the window, and I think you see it. You should especially see it in a situation where people are sort of forced to stop, pause, and then, okay, hang on, what's going on right now? What's next? What's not? How are we gonna do things in a new way? I think one of the positive things, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing what's happening by any means. It's terrible, but it's always something positive. Often comes when you're forced to stop and pause, and then think about doing things because you're forced to do things in a different way. And I think it's the same thing will happen here in terms of what we do, in music and facilitating, the connection between our artists and their fans,
No, 100%. I mean, I completely agree. I think what's happening is, it's terrible. It's super hard for the live industry, for all the other industries as well, and for everyone going through it. But I think, like you said, I'm trying to stay positive in the sense of just I think sometimes change is, it forces your hand and it makes you look at things differently, and you have to adapt to it. So, I think there's some interesting conversations coming up. And I was telling someone earlier today, I was just saying, I'll be really interested to see when we get to Christmas this year and we look back at the year. I think there'll be some really interesting things that have happened this year,
Well, I think for you, but no, not for us, as in who work in the live space, it's the new festival season is September to November.
Yeah. Well, I hope not, but yeah.
It's crazy. All of a sudden, but we are a very resilient business, and we thrive. I think better than other businesses when it comes to radical change.
Yeah.
It's just I've been on the phone to all my various different colleagues, Interscope, we're talking about how to roll out a single, how can we utilize whatever means that we do have and make something brilliant. And on the live side, I've been on the phone call with agents the last, bunch of days, shifting things and, figuring out how we navigate, always putting the fans first, always thinking about, I had a conversation with your colleagues in the States yesterday about the Youngblud tours. What are we going to do about this? We were supposed to do B markets between Coachella and Hangout, and how are we going to announce it? It's always thinking about the fans. And it's a bit well, are we going to announce it with something else and blah blah blah? It's a bit no, just nothing that can soften the blow. We just got to go out and say, really fucking sorry, but this is obviously not happening. And it's just so it's we'll pull through, I 100%. Think, and I think as for us, I don't think we just we'll do everything at the later part of this year into 2021, and it'll be amazing.